Hey guys, what is up? Whoa, Red Master here, and bringing you today another hidden combo. Let's get rid of that. So today, I thought I would go a bit on the experimental side, and I'm actually trying out a Last Will deck. Arcanon Wharf made Andrew the Giant a thing, basically giving him I think a certain amount of stats for if a Last Will went off, if I can remember that correctly. So I made a deck centered around Last Will. It's Pirate Crusader for primarily draw and heal purposes, and you could also argue that Pirate Warlock, like my opponent is using, is another form of which this deck can be presented in. Seeing Arcanon General can trigger Last Wills without the unit actually dying. So, something to consider. But we'll see how the game goes. I'll show you the side that I'm using. Maybe we can estimate how the Warlock Pirate one looks. So yeah, definitely our opponent has a similar sort of deck going here. So we're going to throw out our Nunchuck Nun and kill off this Spitefish, because we don't exactly need him at the moment. Now, I think in... Oh, there's Hooks. Hi, buddy. Okay, so we get the spell off of that. Now I'm thinking I can do here is pop a Crumbling Archive, followed by a Books, and then smack this guy. So I'll be able to take him out with the Cannonball Barrage next turn, depending on what else comes out. Okay, so there's the Arcanon General. Big guy coming out now. Big guy. Alright, ooh. I mean, it's not all that bad. We could actually go ahead and throw out Andrew here. Show him that we have a presence. And pop out. I mean, Hooks are just gonna reel him in. That's kind of alright. And how far? Put you up there. Okay, so we got two Last Will guys out and Andrew. And of course, any Last Will unit that triggers will go to Andrew's buff. So now our opponent has to kind of focus on it, getting rid of Andrew before he kills anything else. Okay. So Spitefish gets killed, powering him up. Banshee gets knocked out, giving us Firebomb, but also giving us more stats. And it goes back to our turn. So I think what we are going to do here... Let's get rid of Hooks with Books. I think I just made a rhyme there. Murder off the General and position Andrew for an attack. So that way, depending on where he... Okay, so he's gonna retreat him back. Didn't expect that. Spitefish comes out. Another General. Okay. So let's go ahead and use one Cannonball Barrage. Okay, I reached him. Good. That'll power him up a bit. We'll throw out our Master Thief. Move him up. We are taking some significant damage to the castle. I'm hoping to draw heals. As you saw when we were doing the mulligan, I did have a heal. Okay, so another Robbins comes out. 3, 3, 4. Doing that math. I don't think he's going to be able to kill Andrew, is he? Unless he's got something up his sleeve. Which he most likely could. He sacks Robbins. Okay, I think he drew a murder. Yeah, he's going to 3. Mystic Journey. He's getting the Merchant's Favors back. Is he doing a, God, I hope he's not doing a crack display. Murder. And his own giant. Okay. I will respect that play. Very good. However, we are not going to let that get too far. Hopefully. Hopefully. Depends. He used a lot of his hand getting out that combo, but was it worth it? Okay, clearly it was, because I just... Ooh. Now he's got his last will units. Not gonna move his giant. That's gonna trigger him. Shit. Ooh, and that could trigger him as well. You know what we're gonna do? We are going to do this, and we'll do that. We'll see what happens. Because hopefully that, I mean, in theory, that giant's going to get a lot bigger now that he can sack his Witch Doctor and Manfish. So, Shaman. He could have taken them out. I guess he wanted to draw. Suck it. Oh, Jesus. Alright. So now priority becomes base. Okay, you do that. You do that. Oh, this isn't looking good. Because no matter what we sort of do here, well, unless I think what we can do is do this. Have Pegacorn come out. Followed by Spitefish. Just have a Nun protect us for now. Our goal is to get Pegacorn to the base. Hopefully he doesn't have some sort of spell castle killer. Hopefully. He very well could. No. That powers up my own guys as well. Okay, let's see if I can do this correctly. You go here. You take out that. Nice! We got the Minotaur from the Monster Tamer. And let's just end it off with a nice barrage of cannons. Oh, sorry. Well played. Sorry. I didn't mean to. Alright. We'll go again with him. Just to see which really is better in comparison. And then I'll show you guys the deck list. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes in. I think we have time for another match. But I do have to give props to Kyram there. The use of Robins and all that merchant's favors. I did not expect him to have that many merchant's favors in his hand. But anyway, looking pretty strong here. We already have Andrew in our hand. He pulls out a manfish. Ugh. See if we can lure him in. Shaman, he's going to end up looking for a draw. Banshee's gonna come out, smack this manfish. And then, unfortunately, we are not gonna be able to get Andrew out for another one turn. I did that math correctly. A lot of early shamans from Kyram. He's definitely searching for something. Banshee's gonna trade with the shaman. Alright. You're gonna smack that. And hopefully next time we can bring out the giant. He can play a giant right now as well. Which he did. See, now that wasn't too... unless he blocks with Spitefish, like he just did there. Alright. Well, we're gonna show him the giant of our own. I'm just going to do a little bop trade here. Both our giants will power up. His a bit weaker than mine. But we are packing the murder, so that's what's going to come in handy here. He can very well just murder our giant. But will he? Oh, yeah, he did. Alright, why did I even bother? Straight up murdered my giant. That's real helpful. Thanks, pal. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna murder yours back. You can't have one, I can't have one. It's kind of fair, I would say, right? Yeah? No? Ooh, there's Robins. Gonna kill off my books there. But have no fear. I have more units. Oh, that sounded horrible. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this Vanish in my hand. It's like sitting there. General comes out, probably to be a nice beefy boy. Alright, and he weakens Pegacorn. Now, thinking like the logical move here is to do that with a Pegacorn. But then, if I do the Monster Tamer, he can just, like, I don't want none of that. I guess what I will do is put like a little Monster Tamer up here and see what he does, so I have him out there. And until everything gets closer, hopefully I could spring a bunch of these lower costing units, Spitefish, etc. But what I do want to do is fill the board with last will units so the Monster Tamer won't trigger. That's like the plan here, not to trigger the Monster Tamer for him. And I don't think murdering is the best option to do that. So like I said, we're gonna put a bunch of last will units on the board. That way he can't trigger the Monster Tamers. If he does trigger the monster tamer, that's going to be annoying. Like, very. Okay, another let's say murderer. General comes out. I think that one we're just gonna directly murder. Okay, actually maybe not. He triggered the Frog Prince's last will, so that's gonna heal back up his castle to pristine condition. Darkfire, damn. Alright, so that's gonna bring out 2 of my own monsters. And then Acolyte comes forth. This is where it gets tough. I might as well straight up murder that Arcanon General so we can't trigger anything. I think this is a good little setup. Oh, here comes sudden death. Hooray. Damn, there's another giant. Ooh, good way to trigger the giant. Too bad, he should have done the Acolyte first. You should have attacked with the Acolyte, that way your zombie could have got something out of that. But I mean, it didn't happen. I don't know why, it didn't happen. I think our plan of action here will be to straight up remove the giant. There we go, yep. I think we're just gonna have to do that just for the hell of it. And then, you know what? We're gonna throw our own giant just in case he doesn't throw out any more surprises of last will tactics. We have the heal, so I'm not worried. We pretty much, he doesn't know it, but I think we might have the upper hand on him unless he Dragon's Fires. Nope, he's gonna go Shaman. We didn't draw Dragon's Fire. Okay. There's our other heal. Let's see what this does. And I'm thinking, how long am I going to be able to hold out before that Frog Prince gets annoyingly close? Okay, not too long. Now, I do have to keep in mind he doesn't have any heal. Shit, my disk driver just stopped responding. Sorry. Game's still happening. Jesus. It's okay. It's alright. We're safe. Somewhat. I don't know. Probably not. Oh, this is what he ended with. Alright. Well, let's heal up. First of all, we are going to get the hell away. I mean, really, he's not in any sort of targeting range? Like, yeah, he's not in any sort of, like, can he attack me there? No, so maybe I'll put something there. Put something down there, and then something over here to make it look like I actually did something. Because after this, he'll go down to 3. And then next turn to 2. Oh, Darkfire. Would be. That's gonna. Oh, okay, I see what he did there. Heal up his castle. Alright. Good play, good play. I did not expect to see that coming. On the heal anyway. Just not gonna worry about that. Oh. Just gonna arbitrarily bomb you. Now let's see if he can save his castle here. It'd be an impressive feat if he can. Oh, he's playing cards. Oh. Will he? Oh, that's a good plan. Actually, no. Yeah, the Banshee. The Banshee effect triggered, so his plan sort of fell through there a bit. Oh. Oh, he flamestormed his castle. Alright, so that was pretty interesting. I'm going to show you guys the deck list. I didn't name it anything special. I'll probably name it in the thing, but I think I'm going to name this Andrew, or not here, King Andrew. There we go. That makes sense. And we're going to, yeah, there we go. So here is what I'm working with here. Here's what I put into the deck. We saw a lot of this in the game, except for Flux. Flux never came out. I might change that to another Last Will unit, I'm thinking about it, but Flux has always been useful. Sort of like a safety 4-drop. So I'm going to run by Acolyte. Acolyte seems to be the strongest 2-drop, and that's pretty much your early game unit next to Books or Archive, possibly Spitefish, but yeah, I think having her in the deck, you know, generally is a must now. She, with the 3 health, has become an add-on that everyone must put into their deck at this point. So, of course, this deck is no different. Archive Books for draw, that's kind of straightforward. 2 Archive to 3 Books. I think the units are always more important to have on the field than a building. Heals, because no Crusader deck is without its annoying heal. Spitefish, let's see. Pretty much the first form of Last Will you have in this deck. It's 2 damage. The enemy castle is very useful if you want to finish off an opponent, want to lower his castle early on, etc. So yeah, Banshee, the Last Will. I'm sort of categorizing all the units. I'm just going to go actually right now. Spitefish, Banshee, Nun, Frog Prince, Tamer. I think that's all the Last Will units I have in this deck. Oh, yeah, Tamer, Prince, Nun, Banshee, Spitefish. Yeah, and Manfish is definitely a viable option, and Witch Doctor too. I didn't include those myself because Manfish I'd rather have Acolyte over since she's ranged. And Witch Doctor because I don't run any other undead. But yeah, all those units primarily serve as the Last Will units to power up our Andrews, which I run 3 in the deck, of course. Master Thief's Invest always comes in handy. I run him nearly in every pirate deck because he's just that useful with the investment. Swift Justice, because now apparently this can target castles, so having this deal some castle damage can't hurt, or if you want to just eliminate some early unit or weakened unit while also drawing a card, this is your best bet to go. Flux, I mentioned, 4-drop, safe unit. That's why my reasoning anyway. None. Pretty much, again, the whole Last Will effect I got going on here. Spyfish, Banshee, None, Prince, Tamer fits into that line. And the 1/1 boost isn't bad either. Andrew, of course, the reason I made the deck, the powerhouse. You saw how scary he can get within the games we had. So having 3 of this deck is always important. Cannonball Barrage, because it's a solid AoE damage dealer. We saw during a few of the 2 games we had, it definitely helped limit or weaken some of the existing enemy units on the field. Murder to take out or counteract another powerhouse in the form of another giant, Yarum, like anything big, Craxus, Dremoth, just always pack a murder in case. Pegacorn, because it's a solid 5-drop and the magic shield, definitely helps with any sort of shenanigans your opponent might have with AoE, Sunburst, Cannonball, etc. Robins, because Robins is again another steady, solid pirate unit, and the 2 Merchant's Favors can definitely be useful, as you saw with a lot of our other 2-3 drops in the deck. Frog Prince, again, the consistency of the Last Will units and the Healing Castle is also not a bad thing to have. And then Monster Tamer, the whole, I think this is probably one of the more powerful Last Will units. The 2 monsters, as you saw by the first game, definitely came in, it basically clusters the game with a Minotaur, so yeah, that is the entire deck, and I can only predict, I'm just going to go off predictions here based on the the other one. We saw our opponent take Grotesque Offering to, well, Last Will units for draw. That's definitely a solid option, and with the Warlocks, I think yeah, you have the Molten Pillar. I don't think that's as strong as a choice, but definitely the General, you could utilize within the Last Will deck to, I would say, probably, like, you know, just generate Last Wills without Last Will units dying. I think that's an important factor to consider on whether you're picking Warlocks over Crusaders. You know, if you're okay with your units dying, I would go with Crusaders. If you rather keep them alive just for aggression, for setup, then I would go with General, just to have that brute forest unit that comes in, punches, triggers a Last Will, powers up Andrew, and the rest of your units are safe. So that's pretty much it. I won't be posting much videos for next week. I will be away on a trip, but when I return, I'll definitely do some more TV commentary. That fight night thing kind of fell through. The opponents that were chosen didn't really respond, so I might try something a little bit different. We'll see how that goes in the near future, though. But for now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and comment down below what you thought of the deck. And until next time, guys, stay gaming.